In this video, I'll break down the exact system that I used to go from 0 to 1 million subs in 4 months. What? I've only got 1,200 subs. Well, shut up. Now, I didn't want this video to be all about the cliche stuff that you normally hear about packaging and being consistent and just making good content, but more some of the things that you can apply to your own channel that you don't hear every day and you don't hear in every YouTube advice video. Create content for your subs and your regular viewers. In order to grow, you need to be creating content for and adding value to the people who are already watching you. It sounds counterintuitive, right? But actually, it makes perfect sense. Now, we all know that the algorithm works in stages. It pushes your video to your subscribers and your regular viewers first. And now if the signals are good, it pushes it out to a wider audience. And if the signals are good, the algorithm pushes it out even further. Now, if you upload a video that does not appeal to your regular viewers and your subscribers, that initial signal is not going to be as strong, and therefore the video will not be pushed any further. The algorithm will think it's not particularly good content and it will stop dead in its tracks. Serving your existing viewers allows your video to be pushed to a wider audience. Now, of course, if you're doing something completely different or something completely experimental, you can always uncheck the publish to subscriber box, which will mean it's not even shown to them in the first place. Stop asking questions that can't be answered, or in another way, stop blaming YouTube and stop blaming the algorithm. Multiple times a week, I'll get questions like, why is YouTube showing my content after unrelated videos? Why is it showing my videos to the wrong audience? Why has YouTube stopped pushing my video when it's doing so well? I mean, don't get me wrong, to some extent, I understand that you're just trying to figure out what you can do to rectify the situation for next time, what you can do to make sure that the algorithm does what you think it should. But there isn't, it's all just data. I don't care what anyone says. There's nobody out there who's truly going to be able to explain to you exactly how the algorithm works, what numbers you need to hit in order to achieve your targets. I mean, look, I can insult your intelligence and tell you about tags and hashtags and SEO, what to name your video files, and using keywords. I mean, look, there's been whole businesses that have been built on this witchcraft. But I'm not going to do that because you know all of this stuff already. You've probably tried and it's still not working. So what does that tell you? Asking these questions puts you in the wrong frame of mind. You end up blaming the algorithm and you end up thinking that YouTube owes you something. YouTube and the algorithm doesn't owe you anything. When you think about it, with all of the millions of videos that are uploaded to YouTube every day, there's only so much space on the homepage. There's only so many suggested impressions that they can give your video. Rather than asking questions that can't be answered, focus on the things that you can actually control. Curiosity keeps viewers interested. I wanted to talk about something called the Zeigarnik effect. Bloom Zeigarnik studied waiters in a cafe, and what she observed is that waiters could remember an order right up until the bill was paid. Once it was paid, they completely forgot about it. She uncovered that we as human beings fixate on and are drawn to incomplete or interrupted tasks. On YouTube, we can create curiosity which we satisfy later. The viewer's brain wants to close the loop, so they stay watching in order to find the response and the answer to the question. A really crude example for me could be something like, I thought I was doing everything right on YouTube until this one video completely ruined my channel. The viewer will be thinking, what went wrong? Which video? How did it ruin your channel? You can open multiple curiosity loops at once and satisfy them throughout the video, or you can close one loop before opening another. As with everything on YouTube, this takes practice. If you're up for it, drop an example that you've used down in the comments below. Quantity, then quality, and then quantity. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't actually one of mine. It's from a creator called April Lynn Alter, and she posted about it in a 2-year on YouTube update. But it's something that I actually completely agree with. I mean, if you've got zero experience of making videos, of editing, of storytelling, writing scripts, the only way you're going to improve is by doing it. And by doing it more often, you're going to improve much faster. You're gonna keep making videos, making small improvements until you're halfway decent at your craft. You'll find that improving at the beginning is actually gonna be easy. Your improvement is gonna be exponential. But at some point, you're actually gonna reach a decent level where it's harder to make big improvements. That's when I think it actually makes sense to step back on the volume and really focus on the quality of your videos and really get intentional about what you're improving and actually make bigger improvements. And once you're at a level of quality that you're happy with and you're able to produce content to that quality much faster, you can ramp up again with the volume. Now, this is probably much more of a cycle than a once and done approach, as in you'll probably go through this process process multiple times throughout your YouTube journey, from quantity to quality to quantity, and then back to quality again. Be generous. Now, this is one that I've thought about quite a lot. And I'll be honest, it's something that's really not spoken about enough. As a growing creator, there's going to be people who are behind you who are going to ask you questions, who are going to want some of your time. So what I would say is don't be a douche. If they've taken time to ask you a question or leave a thoughtful comment, put as much effort and as much thought into your response. There have been multiple times over the last 4 months where creators have reached out to me with questions or even to request a conversation. And more often than not, I will accept. The only times why I haven't is where somebody's been disrespectful or they've been demanding attention. I'm going to give the same energy that I'm receiving. I will almost always respond to emails. The only caveat to that is if you're trying to sell me something, I might not. You can also show support to other creators through comments and lives. Some of the best examples that I can think of this within my niche are people like Rob the Maritimer. I've seen Rob join lives from really small creators and he's contributed to the conversation, left comments, encouraged people to like. You can just see the positive impact this has on the group and how much the host appreciates him joining. The other is Old Mike from Old Me Living Better. There have been a number of times where he shouted out other content creators in his videos. He created a playlist with his favorite videos from creators who have less than 100 subscribers. I'm also really fortunate to be involved in a couple of groups that Old Mike is part of, and is always so giving with his time in answering questions, giving comments, and giving encouragement to fellow smaller creators. Treat other creators who are a little bit behind you how you would want to be treated by those who are ahead of you. Think about karma. Fellow creators are not your competition. They're people who are going to be able to support you throughout this journey if you're there to support them. Be enough without it. I thought that hitting 1K subs would give me this huge feeling of validation, confirmation that I was doing the right thing and I've achieved something that a lot of smaller channels just don't. It's interesting because 1,000 subs is almost like this psychological barrier. It's the thing that YouTube themselves set as a sign and a mark of legitimacy. But here's the thing that I didn't expect. After hitting 1,000 subs on that very next upload is the first time in ages that I was actually really nervous about posting a video. I felt rightly or wrongly that there was more expectation, that one bad video now could just ruin all of the progress that I'd made. And what I've started to understand is that if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling like an imposter, if you're feeling like you can't do this, no amount of subs is going to fix that for you. It's kind of crazy that subscriber count is still the primary metric that we use when talking about the size of the channel, although it doesn't really have any correlation to channel health. Having a load of subscribers who don't watch your videos doesn't mean anything. The algorithm places so much less importance on subscriber count than ever before. In fact, somebody who isn't subscribed but who watches your videos regularly is much more likely to be served your new content than a subscriber who hasn't watched one of your videos in ages. So I feel that this obsession with 1,000 subs is something that we need to let go of for our own mental health and for the sake of focusing on what's really important. If you're not enough without 1,000 subs, you're never going to be enough with it. Have more bright ideas. Now look, I know ideation is something that's spoken about quite a lot in a lot of YouTube videos. However, I wanted to mention it here because I think it's so important. What I don't hear spoken about enough though, is that it's not just about having ideas. It's not even about just having good ideas. It's about having the right ideas for your goal. As an example, a video idea or topic that's going to get you a lot of views might not get you much watch time. An idea that's going to get you lots of subs might not help you sell your product. It's about understanding what type of video you need to make so it can do what you want it to do. Using this as an opportunity to experiment to figure out what works is incredibly important. But what's more important is that you're smart about the experimentation and then you really dial in using the information that you've been able to gather. It's about prioritizing your ideas, understanding your own limitations, whether that be limitation of skill or limitation of time, to ensure that you're working on the right ideas for now to help you move forward. It's important though that you figure out different styles and formats that can help you deliver your goals, so your content doesn't become stale and your viewers don't get bored watching the same thing from one week to the next. Just do it. You're never going to feel like you're enough. You're never going to feel like you're ready. You're never going to feel like you're not an imposter. You're never not going to feel nervous. Just do it anyway. The opposite side of that coin is that you actually wait. You wait until you feel ready, you wait for a time that's actually never going to come. Trust me, no one feels any different to you, no matter how big or small they are. No one feels certain that they're doing the right thing, but they do it anyway. It's the only way to move forward. So what say you? What are the things that you think are most important to grow a YouTube channel? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to understand how to grow a YouTube channel and why it's so painful, watch this video next with brutally honest advice about how to grow on YouTube. I'll catch you next time.